What is the difference between a real impeachment inquiry and whatever we can call happened today?
Well, I think the reality is Lawrence McCarthy realizes he doesn't have the votes to do a real impeachment investigation. He doesn't have the support of his own members to do it. But at the same time, his motivation is, what do I need to do to stay Speaker one more day or maybe one more week? And he's got Donald Trump pushing him to do an impeachment inquiry. He's got the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Elise Stefanik's pushing him to do an impeachment investigation. He knows he doesn't have the votes for it. He knows he's going to contradict himself from just 2 weeks ago. But none of that really matters. And this is the problem he has with his own conference, and that is he stands for nothing. His only reason for being is to try to cling to that job. And he's being whipsawed, in this case, by the Matt Gaetzes who are threatening to bring him down, and by others who are threatening to bring him down over the budget. And he's already reneged on the deal he made with Joe Biden on the budget. So he's going into this confluence of events where he's trying to throw some red meat to the base, give them an impeachment, and at the same time hang on to his job through this budget showdown at the end of the month.
Let's listen to what Congressman Gaetz today said to the Speaker of the House, something that has never been said to a Democratic Speaker of the House. Let's listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role. The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you.
So there's, Kevin McCarthy's boss, I guess, on the floor of the House telling him he's going to get fired.
Well, Lawrence, at one level, these people deserve each other. There's no loyalty. There's no animating purpose. There's no real ideology here. In the case of Matt Gaetz, it's just self-attention and to tear things down. Kevin McCarthy, it's just to cling on to that title for one more day. And this is why we are where we are. The tragedy here is some of us are trying to find housing for people who are homeless and trying to bring down the cost of housing and to make health care more accessible and, face the real challenges of the American people. But Kevin McCarthy is fiddling while cities are burning from climate change. And instead of dealing with these real world problems, we have this complete degeneration of the House. The most rudimentary function of the House is to keep the lights on and keep the government open. It's not even clear Kevin McCarthy can do that. He's trying to throw this impeachment sop to the right wing, maybe to get past this potential shutdown. But the American people deserve so much better than what they're getting from this Republican majority.